What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to KangBrosTV. Liverpool 4, Wolves 0. That was a bad boy performance. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. There's a lot of people in the comments. There's about 2-3 people in the comments in the preview of the game that said, you know what, Liverpool 4-1. Liverpool going to do the business. So hats off to them, man, there. Because you know what, I was thinking this could be a draw. This could be a tricky one as a game. But as the game went on, the whole performance in itself was just a good performance to watch, solid, like all across the pitch, and Wolves really couldn't get anywhere close.
Obviously, Cody's got his Liverpool hat on, you know what I mean?
But Cody always comes through for us, you know that, because that was out of character for him. Trust.
I still can't work out what he was.
You just had that straight.
I don't really understand. I don't know. I just don't know.
He just literally was chest off to Salah, and Salah, instinctive.
He's a killer.
Mate.
Salah is a killer in them sort of situations, but. I think like you said, the performance today was just that was like Leicester. You know that game against Leicester, it was relentless. You could just tell that Wolves were just knackered. They were just tired by the end of it. I thought, yeah, man, it was enjoyable. What I will say is, I know this does sound like I'm being a bit of a neg, but every time Liverpool scored, I don't know about you, but I was always reluctant to celebrate because I always think, right, okay, there's going to be some bullshit that's going to happen here. Yeah. Something's going to happen here. That's what I felt like. But yeah, man, I was just so gassed. You just didn't see it coming. That performance, I did not see a 4-0. Against Wolves, so I just didn't see that happening at all. And
the fans were sick. Like, it was nice just to see fans in there again. And obviously, we've seen with the other games that had happened before already that fans or other clubs had the fans in there. But you could tell the difference. I'm not just trying to brag because it's our fans, but it was 1,500 of them. I think it was, or close to 2,000, whatever it was. But when they were singing like "Si Senor" and all them songs there for Firmino, they were loud. So trust, if them mans can make it that much of a noise, it was good to see them back. And I think it did definitely make a difference. Like some of the appreciation of some of the passes, and you can see them clapping and stuff. I think that definitely riled the players up, and you can tell that in their performances. Like if I try to see a pinpoint a good performance of one player, it's really difficult. No joke aside, like there's so many good performances across the pitch, and yeah, I think Wolves just could not keep up with what was going on.
They looked tired by the end of the game. They looked like they were tired.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of like how the game went and the goals. I mean, Salah's goal
it was weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, killer finish, but it's just one of those you just did not expect that. I don't expect that, and it's fair enough to him because he stayed alert to anticipate the mistake, which I think is a bit like Curtis Jones against in the week in the Champions League game against Ajax. It's like you don't expect them to make that mistake, but you should got to be ready for it. And the way he took the goal was just mad.
Matip, you said there's no other guy that deserves a goal more than Matip.
Yeah, I said it at the time. I said if there's one person that deserves a goal, it's him. Like just the way he's come back into the team, had his injury problems, and come in and been such a don for us. Like he's actually been a boss.
That's it. If you look at the weeks before, like where he's played, no one says anything because he just comes in, slots in, does the job. There's nothing to say bad against him.
And the other thing is that Genie scored today, and it's like wow, like what a goal, but. If he did that, if he added that element to his game, for Liverpool, like he's pretty much man of the match every week. Do you know what I mean? He's man of the match every week. If he adds a couple of goals to his game, at the moment, today, I heard people be like, "To be fair, yeah, well, Wijnaldum's probably man of the match." Or yeah, he was quality today. But the level of performance never drops. It's just he got a goal today, and it was some goal as well, some goal. But
serious takers. And then you had Trent come back on, which is great to see him back. And then that whip of a cross. That's what you missed. And like no offense to Nico. Like Nico today actually played well. Like even you had Adama swap sides. People saying it's to pick on Nico. That could be true, but also he was getting nothing from the other side.
Getting nothing from Robbo. Robbo was bolstered.
And Mane doubling up on him, as you said, right? They had them on toast. So he came across, and Nico dealt with him as well. And then Trent came on to see him whip that cross in. That's what we were kind of be missing.
Massive statement, but you made a point. This is your statement from earlier, but you said that's Beckham-esque. That's Beckham-esque. Like the crossing that the skill that he's got is Beckham's level of crossing. That's a massive statement. But
it's the whip he gets on it. Do you know what I mean? You get how the way he gets his foot around it. Yeah. Like that cross, you can see it coming, but it's the way he gets it literally to come right round and almost come back on himself.
He's executed it to perfection. Like, do you know what I mean? That side of it was just too much. But I guess the other one to not forget is Kelleher again made one big boy save today, but just in general, just like he just seems so. Chilling back there, he's like, whatever. Like, what's the big deal? What's the problem?
I said, see his body language, just chilling like this, just give me the ball, and I just carry on. That's it.
But it's almost like he looks around and just says, like, what? Like, what are you little gas? What are you mad for? Like, what's going on? Like,
and like I said to you, like even when we have Adrian in goal, however good the defense may be, or however good the the midfielder, you're always nervous when the ball comes in because thinking, what is, like you said, what's Adrian thinking? Like, is he in this game? Was he somewhere else? And that's where Keller comes in, and he just does the basics correctly.
Well, like,
and he does it well.
He's like he oils it, doesn't he? Like, he's very oiled in what he's done. He's well versed in what he's going to do. He knows what he's going to do. Execute what my task is to like, you know, keep it simple, keep it moving, stop the ball when it comes towards me, bomb, keep it moving. That's all you want from a goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean?
But then you talk about the consistent dons that you kind of go past, right? Like Henderson today, he was sick. Like, we would always talk about this, like Henderson's decision making. Yeah. He hardly ever gets it wrong. Like, I don't want to, like, we don't want to sound too arrogant, but his decision making, his passing, everything, like even the ball over the top to for Gini's goal, I think it was when they countered there, right? And then you had,
I think it was Salah's goal, wasn't it?
I can't remember who scored the goal, but then even with Fabinho, you talk about this guy. The guy just comes in.
He's my man of the match again today. That's 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row for me. He's man of the match, and for me, it wasn't even up for debate. Like, it's not even a debate. It's not even like, oh, who's man of the... He is head and shoulders our best player at the moment. He's so good in that position. Today, there's one time that Adama sat him down, yeah, when he slid in, which was a poor decision. But other than that, just
that last ditch of Cody.
Mate, he's just too much. Like, how we've, like, it's so much so that when Verge is fit and we're full strength, he plays. And if Thiago's available, I'll play, as much as I love Fabinho midfield, I'd play him centre back with Van Dijk, because for me he's been just next level in there. He's tackling, he's passing, the way he gets us, he turns attack into defence because he's got the midfielder's mindset. Wins it, breaks up play, boom, and it's always like a 10-yard pass straight forward, striker's feet. Mate, he was today, for me, he was man of the match by a long way.
You actually raise a good point. Like, if when the team is fully fit, right? For me, you're not going to move Matip and Verge because together they're really good, right? And Thiago, you're going to play him. You're going to want to play him. So it does give you a new problem.
And especially when teams are going to set up in a way that they're not going to come to play,
or just go 3 at the back.
Well, you can go for it at the back with him, with a view to say, right, okay, you just step into midfield. So you're almost like you're on the sheet as a centre back, but if they're going to sit 10 men, 11 men behind the ball, just step in and go into that midfield because you've got the luxury of it being able to do that. And I just think that he's been. Talk about taking, like, you know, with problem comes an opportunity, and that opportunity that he has taken as a centre back, for me, like, that's him. Just leave him there because he's so good in that position, and he still turns defence into attack. So for me, like, yeah, it's a good headache, that one.
And Robertson, I mean, you can't praise this guy enough. Like I keep saying, every single week this guy put into the performance, regular, same consistency every single time. And we talked about this off air. It was like, there's something about, you know, the Scottish mentality. Like, you say what you want, but their man's got hot. Like, it was the last game, literally, he said, banded himself up, carried on. Comes to this game, starts, finishes it, and he's just bossing it again.
There was one time today, I took a heavy touch, and I thought, oh, it's a poor touch. My man got there, whipped the crossing, and they should have scored. And I was just like, hold on a minute, like, what? Like, what's just happened here? Yeah, his level of consistency is like, you know, unreal. And hats off to the scouting department or the transfer, Michael Edwards or whoever's doing it. To sign him and for him to be as good as he has been, mate, that's like, you would never have thought that, would you?
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, Curtis Jones. Like, for me, to keep things positive, on a positive vibe, is that he's come in when we are on, like, just, you know, bare bones. You know what I mean? And he's come in and he's filled that gap, he's filled that void, and he's kept it moving. And as I said, he's a ballsy player, and he does none of the occasion never gets over him. But for me, that's what I will say, and keep the vibe positive, is that he's come in and he doesn't look like he's a complete novice or a kid coming in and we're given an opportunity. He comes in, does hold his own and does a job. That's what I will say on Curtis Jones. And obviously he got the goal in the Champions League as well. But like you said, the whole thing, the whole pitch, is a solid performance from Liverpool. And I think as fans, you can't ask for anything more. Like, with all the pressure going into it as well, with all the other teams winning around us, it was a lot of pressure on going into this game, and Liverpool made it look like it was easy.
I heard some people saying that this could be the end of the home run, whatever it was, because they're such a tough side to play against, which they are. But like I said, to deal with them in the way they did today was a pleasure to watch. Curtis Jones again, yeah, like you say, I'm not trying to get on to hate on a person. What he done to in the last few weeks has been good, and he's kind of, you're almost having to play him because of the situation with the squad, and he's come in and he's held his own. I'm a bit like that with Henderson. I was never Henderson's biggest fan, but now I look at him and think to myself, like, his leadership skills and his decision making alone is like, that's what you pay for. I think that's what separates a good player from a world class player. I'm not saying Henderson's world class. What I'm saying is decision making is everything, and his decision making is so on point. You know, the risk reward. You know, you can see him calculate the decision and say, right, okay, if I play this pass to the right back when there's someone pressing him, the risk reward here is, you know, what outweighs it, and then you'll just clip it in a channel. So it's the same thing with Curtis Jones. He's starting to just make decisions and say, right, okay, I'm not going to be the best player on the pitch, but I'm going to give a solid 7 or 6 or 7 every week. Listen, if that's we're winning, then happy days. I still don't know what he is as a midfielder. I've made it very clear. I don't know. You know, for me, he's a jack of all trades, master of none at the moment. But I'm happy for I'm happy for that to change and him become, you know, that boss player that everyone seems to think he's going to be. If that's the case, then by all means, obviously good, because it means that we win. But as I said, I'm still on the fence with him.
And then just to finish off topic a little bit, but the Amazon Prime commentary, bro. I'm actually having it. You got Donnies out there like Clive Tinsley, and you got Ali McCoy busting jokes and that. And if you compare it to Michael Owen and McManaman, bro, that's all I'm saying.
McManaman should be, just leave him alone. He should not be commentating. Liverpool legend, yeah, I get all that, but allow that. Michael Owen, get him off. Whatever contract you got, pull it off and just leave it.
They got Clive Tinsley available.
Yeah, if Clive Tinsley's about, get him in.
So yeah, quickly to wrap up, man of the match, you said
Fabinho,
yeah. And I'm going for Henderson. I think he was pivotal what we're doing today. Literally, decision making, like we said, was spot on.
And Robertson, the way he dealt with Adama Traore today, with the doubling up of Mane, obviously, but the way he dealt with Adama Traore today, how much of a compliment is it when you say, listen, you know what, go on the other side of Adama, innit? Because you're not getting anything from this guy.
And since as long as I can remember, I've never actually said this, but it's a massive game, and it's against Tottenham. Believe it or not, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're top of the league, we're top of the league, and it's a big game. I don't think Mourinho's going to change his ways, and we all kind of know this, and how he's going to set up for it.
The way that they picked Arsenal apart today, mate, that was tough to watch.
We could make a whole new video, you know, on that. What the hell that was about?
But like I said, we got them coming up, so it was interesting to watch how they played that game. They're not going to change. They're going to do it. It's going to be counter-attacking heaven. Liverpool set up last 2 games, Ajax and today, against 2 teams that want to counter-attack and set up quite well. So it'd be interesting to see if Mourinho changes anything, because if not, it could just be, you know, a board draw. You know,
that's what he'd be playing for. And if he can nick a win, that's what he'd do. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
But until then, share, like, and subscribe, and definitely comment.